I do believe that in the recent time that actually the government activities has been caused stock prices to go up and down. So the macro and the banking, the central banker activity has caused a lot of the effect, the so-called systematic risk in the market. So as a result of that issue, then fundamentally whether from the market itself we get good predictions about the future, or is it the case that it's just a better prediction about whether the government's going to support the market? So we saw yesterday or a couple of days ago where, I think it was yesterday actually, Chairman Bernanke gave a talk before Congress, and Congress then said that we thought that it was necessary to keep interest rates low for a long period of time, which meant that people believed there was going to be more quantitative easing where the stock market went up. Why is that the case? Because the government's going to be buying bonds, forcing individuals then into riskier instruments, and so as they had done in the past. So I worry that what we're doing is we're taking away sort of macros being the government monetary policy and fiscal policy has always been important, but now it's getting to be a much larger piece of the puzzle than I think it should be. I wish it were the case that when banks did not understand the ramifications or the implications of exotic instruments, they would regulate themselves and not issue them, because certain things are not possible to be modeled or not possible to be understood, the implications of that. And a lot of the products are sold in ways that are not really in the best interest of clients or customers, because there are a lot of hidden options or hidden things in those instruments. If, for example, an investment bank such as Goldman Sachs takes a $200 million profit on building a structure, then someone has to have a $200 million loss. Not someone can't have a $200 million gain and someone not having a loss on that instrument. So the accounting system creates the wrong incentives. So I would hope that regulations or accounting regulations or how things are recorded would be such that that would limit or at least inform the other party that there's a lot of embedded options in that instrument that they're buying that'll cause them to appear as though they have a higher yield, even though there's a great chance that they will suffer a loss. I think that obviously that if you have competitive advantage, where is the competitive advantage of your economy, such as Spain vis-a-vis Germany? And if it's the case that that's what regulators, government officials should be really thinking about, and is it the case that it's so costly to establish new businesses, or it's so costly to change labor or in your activities, that's reducing your competitiveness dramatically unless you have monopoly in certain areas. And basically, if, say, Greece has a monopoly in tourism, then fine. You can try to stimulate ways in which your tourist industry can grow, but next door is Turkey. So if the euro is too high and your prices are too high and too rigid, then basically Turkey's going to take many of the people who would come to visit in your country. So competitiveness really is what is your competitive advantage and what is your competitive disadvantage, in the sense that rules and regulations that are put into place are not fostering an ability to grow in those dimensions. And the problem now in some parts of Europe is that the adjustment has to come through the labor price, has to come through the housing price or the value of assets price, and not through depreciation of the currency. So that's the cost. The benefit of Europe is a common market, a common culture, a way to end wars. The cost is the adjustment has to come through the labor price and the value of assets, as when we were on the gold standard. So now, well, we have to live with that. And the problem is to fight that, we have to realize that in a competitive environment, if that's the only adjustment mechanism for a country, then we have to understand that pain and how to handle that pain and that adjustment.